Hello, hunters and ladies. Ziyall here of the WoW Noob channel. So, the footage you're seeing in this video is from the Elementum, something like that, invasion, prior to Cataclysm launch. I've had this footage for some time, and I didn't really know when to use it, and I decided to use it on sort of my quote-unquote vlog videos, basically, when I'm rambling on about stuff. Anyway, I've been, for the past, I would say, past 6 months, since about the release of Cataclysm, I've actually been in a situation where I didn't know if I enjoyed playing WoW in Cataclysm. It felt, it felt weird. We didn't have that much content. Now keep in mind, this is the first expansion that I've been a part of from the beginning. When Wrath of the Lich King came out, I was only about level 30 or 40 or something like that. But still, even if you started at that point and you got to level 80, you still had levels or zones left to do. We had way more instances to do, and there was just much more content to do for endgame than it was here in Cataclysm. And because we had some of those problems with the raid team and all that, I was kind of annoyed with it, and I felt like I've mentioned this in earlier videos, that I didn't really enjoy playing Ziyall anymore, and I was actually almost at a critical stage where I was actually thinking about, am I going to continue to play the game or not? But I decided to stick with it, and I'm happy for that, because now as Firelands is coming out, and I have been in just to check out a little bit on the PTR. Obviously there's been a lot of problems on the PTRs with DCing a lot and such. The PTR servers are not particularly stable, especially not for the European crowd. But there's a lot of stuff coming there, and there's going to be a lot of stuff to do with, first of all, there's a huge quest chain. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but let's just say there's some cool stuff happening with Thrall. So if you haven't done a goblin yet, I would suggest. Oh, don't worry about it. You might hear my cat go walking around. She's in heat, so she's kind of hoarding all the time. Anyway, you have a huge storyline about Thrall in the starting zone of the goblin. So if you haven't done that already, I would suggest going back and doing the first levels, obviously from Kazan and also into the Lost Isles, just to at the point where you end up at Orgrimmar. And if you can't remember those quest chains, then go back and do it again. It's only going to take you a couple of hours. But what happens in that story is sort of continuing in the story with Thrall as we get into the Firelands and some of the quest chains that's going to be going on up in, what's the name of that zone? Ziyall, that's the name of the zone, obviously. And there is definitely, so again, if you haven't done all the Ziyall quests, I recommend you do it sooner rather than later, because the first thing I did, obviously, was I created a pre-made character on the PTR, and I couldn't do anything, because the first thing you do in the quest chain, as you get access to do all those daily quests and so on that we are going to get in the Firelands in Ziyall, you are actually getting help from the three, spirits or watchers or whatever it is, that you're actually helping to resurrect or get back into the living world when you're doing the original Ziyall quests. I mean, some of the first three people you help is actually the dog, or whatever his name is. I can't remember his name. I'll see if I can find a footage of him or something and put it in the video. But you are doing a couple of tasks for him. You're doing a couple of tasks for that flying girl thingy, from that big tree. Again, I'm terrible with names. I'll see if I can find a picture of her, put it in the video, and write down her name so have an idea what I'm talking about. Obviously, I can't remember who it is, the last one you're helping out, but you have to have completed all the quests in Ziyall, actually all the way up to the end zone where you're battling Ragnaros in the end. I actually have footage of that battle from another character, and I am probably going to make a video about that. Maybe I'll just use that footage in some of those random vlog or something like that. Anyway, we are getting a lot of the stuff back that I feel we're missing, because, like I said, it feels kind of like there's not enough to do. Because, you can go in and you can do random heroics 7 times in one day. You can do all of them at once if you don't have the time to play every day, which I don't. But other than that, oh yeah, you can do 6 if you're very, very, very lucky. You can do, if you have a lot of time in your hands, you can do 12 dailies in the battle zone of Tolbarad. So, and that's about it. You can do a couple of cooking quests, but okay, I haven't gotten all the recipes yet for cooking, but there's no reason to do it. And from the rewards from the fishing quest, there's not really any reason to do that, other than if it's something easy, well, it's easy money, basically. But now we are getting to a point where we are getting a lot of new content. And if you do, there's some mounts, for example, you can get from the faction vendors. Whoops, just had some fallout from the recording. Anyway, in Ziyall, we are getting a new faction. I can't remember their name. I'll see if I can't find it and put it on the screen. But there are some pretty nice rewards from these. For example, apparently there is a gun that you can craft that I'm very interested in, because obviously I haven't gotten any other weapons from either Valiona or Atramedes. That's the one. I actually want them both for my collection, my bow collection, but I haven't got any of those weapons, so I'm still running around with the crossbow that you can get from the Tolbarad guys. So that's not really the best upgrade in the universe. So obviously I want to get this crafted item and build that, and I need to get reputation in order to do that, and also get currency that you can trade in for mounts and vendor items and so on. So we are getting a lot of stuff, and if you are doing all this stuff and you want to get the mounts, for example, get all the mounts, get everything, you're gonna have to do all the dailies up until, or like, I think it's about, was it 2 or 3 months it's gonna take you in order to do everything. So that's gonna be some nice content anyways, and as you know, I love to collect mounts, so that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. And also, I've seen some PTR footage of the raid bosses in Firelands, and they look pretty cool. So to be honest, I'm really looking forward to the Firelands, to the raid, and all the content. But it's funny with these sort of vlog, I start rambling and I don't really get to talk what I wanted to talk about. But what I wanted to talk about really was the future of the channel, and I've been way too, you know that some of you, I've been way too focused on wanting to get a lot of subscribers and getting some attention to my channel. And one thing that I have learned through all this is that, and I'm not saying that I'm the best person at making quality videos, but the quality of a video doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what content you're doing, basically. What gets people to watch your channel and watch your videos that you throw out is if they kind of, I'm not gonna say like you, but it's kind of like that. I mean, I've been watching videos of people that, well, their voice annoyed me, it annoyed the crap out of me, so I didn't watch those videos. And I think it's quite the same thing here. I think as a video viewer, you kind of feel that, oh, this guy is, or this girl, if it's a woman that has a channel, this person is something that, oh, I like to watch their videos. And it's more about that than quality. And because I have been focusing a lot about getting subscribers and such, I feel I've been slacking, might be a right word to use. I haven't really, I've gotten away from what I wanted to do. Just to take an example, I went back and before I started to make videos, I never understood how music artists, for example, could stand listening to their own music. For example, I mean, don't they get enough of it when they're doing it, playing it on stage and such? But I'm doing exactly the same thing. If I have like a 20-minute break at work or something, I can whip out my phone and listen or watch one of my videos on YouTube. So that's how crazy I am. Anyway, these videos, when I watched the Halfas video and I thought to myself, oh man, this is so boring. I mean, snore. I mean, there are so many guides out there that shows you stats and tells you names and X amount of damage over Y amount of seconds and all that. And that's not really what I wanted to do. When I said back in the day that I wanted to do a video or raid guides for the casual raider, it was more of a face-to-face talk, you know? It's almost like you were sitting next to me and we were talking about it. Well, I was talking about it anyway, talking about the boss and the encounter. So I'm gonna change my guides to that, hopefully. I was actually very close to recording the Valiona. Sorry, I was just stirring my tea. I was actually working on the Valiona Thurelion video, and I took a lot of footage showing, obviously I had to fight, and then I zoomed in on different things, all the abilities and such, and I thought, well, why do I want to talk about that? Obviously I'm gonna need to mention it, but I thought to myself, instead I want to show the battle, all the things that you need to worry about as a player, as a casual raider. Obviously I don't know everything, I can't always learn and know how something is going to affect a melee player. So that's something that I'm going to have to see if I can figure out. But for now, I'll just... The things that you need to worry about, I'm going to talk about them in a little bit more of a casual way. And show what it looks like, what the effect looks like on the screen. And maybe have the name of the skill or ability, you know, so you can read it. But basically just doing a little bit more of a casual, face-to-face talk. Which is what I wanted to do from the beginning. And that's what I want to go back to. So that means that these types of videos like this, where I'm just rambling on about not necessarily random things, random topics, but something that I like about the game or whatever it is, talk about it. I've done it in the past. I remember, just to mention an example, I did some talk about a patch, an earlier patch in one video, where the footage of the video was the Lady Deathwhisperer encounter. So that's what I want to get back to. Obviously, I would love to get subscribers, but I need to start focusing on the videos and people that I'm making the videos for, instead of focusing on people that I haven't gotten yet. So, obviously, I can't say how this is going to end up, but I'm definitely into fixing this, because I was getting tired of the videos that I was making, and the videos that I've done for the last 6 months. Pretty much all of them have been, in my opinion, crap. So I want to change them and try to make them better, hopefully. So I hope you'll agree about that.